Hey everybody, welcome to Module 2. I want to just spend a little time here at the beginning of the lesson talking with you about just how we view creative writing overall. We're going to kick off our study of poetry this week, but I want to talk first a little bit about just viewing ourselves as writers. I agree with our textbook. I think creative writing might just be the best subject to study. It's so much fun, it's so wide ranging, and it's always changing and evolving too. And one thing that happens is this happens all the time. We have this wide variety of people that come to this class, and there are people here who are professional writers, have been working in the industry or in creative capacities for years, and they're taking this class as a brush up, just to try maybe a little different slant on writing. And so we've got those folks here, and then we've got the whole range all the way to people who have never done any creative writing at all and who maybe might feel a little intimidated coming in. And some people here might be sitting here thinking, I'm not even a writer. What am I even doing in this class? So that is something I want to address right off the bat. The other thing I want to address right off the bat is that you see me sitting in my van right now. Um, the reason that you see me here is because, like some of you, I'm guessing, I am a parent of an athlete. I'm actually a parent of three athletes. But uh, I am sitting outside of practice right now for one of them. So, hey, we do education from everywhere now. So today I am teaching from my van. So, and by the way, don't let anybody tell you different. Minivans are the best thing ever. I get into this discussion with my family all the time. I've got a sister-in-law who will never drive a minivan, but I'm telling you, they are the best. But I don't want to get away from the main point here too far and make this video way too long by going down rabbit trails. So what do I want to talk about mainly in this video? I want to talk about the fact that when it comes to creative writing, anyone can learn and improve. Talent isn't everything. Just showing up and doing the work is what matters. And this is going to be especially important this week as we start with poetry, because people have really strong feelings about poetry. They tend to either really be drawn to it and enjoy it, or they tend to not, and they tend to feel doubtful about their own abilities when it comes to poetry. But the real growth for all of us, no matter where we are on that spectrum, it's going to come from the practice of just showing up and being here and trying the things that I'm challenging you with in each assignment. Now, when we think about how people learn and it comes to writing specifically, the best way to learn any kind of writing is to do the writing. Writers learn by writing. And what often is kind of touted as a writer's biggest fear is this idea of writer's block. So let's just right off the bat, let's just say, okay, writer's block is a thing and it happens, and it is nothing to be scared of. You will get beyond it, especially if you use the journaling practices that we talked about in week one. So just try to accept writer's block as a reality if that's one of your fears. Second thing I want to point out, first drafts are messy, and that's okay. Now, if you're coming in and you're one of those people who's like, I only write one draft, my first draft is the draft and that's it, I'm hoping that we can kind of maybe move you away from that perspective during this semester. Expect to be revising, because so often our first draft is just the beginning and we can do so much more if we give the draft time and if we rework it and go through some revision. So be open to revision. There is no one and done here. Um, Especially in creative writing, in any kind of writing, I'm sure you've learned that, but especially here in creative writing. One thing that I particularly enjoy about this class is that all the forms that we write in are going to be short forms. So you're going to write poetry, which is in and of itself tends to be a short form. And then you're going to write fiction, but you're going to be writing flash fiction. And so we're going to talk about what flash fiction actually is and how it's defined and how we create it. And then that's going to be kind of an adventure too, because that might be something new for you, but it also might help you feel really empowered about your ability to write short fiction. And then we're also going to do flash creative nonfiction. So it's going to be kind of an adventure into what can be done with short pieces of writing. So, again, remember writing is a process. Don't be attached to your first draft. Revision is going to add layers and depth. And if you want to go into this a little more deeply, if this is kind of new to you, read a few words about revision. It's part of your assigned reading for this week, but spend some time with that and really go deep there and really look deeply into our approach to writing beyond the first draft. Another thing that we're going to do here, and one of the reasons that I love this textbook is that it gives us to do something, it gives us the opportunity to do something really important, which is to read broadly. We're going to explore beyond your favorites. I have you talk a little bit about your favorites at different times during the class, and then hopefully we'll introduce some stuff that you haven't read before. I particularly love the selection that's in our textbook that we use for this class for that reason. You're going to probably see new authors in there, new styles that maybe you haven't read before. And the thing that this can do for you is it provides you a broader reading experience to help you develop your own voice and learn more about who you are as a writer. The other thing that's really cool about this class, or another thing, I've got a long list um, of things that are great about this class, is that here you can find writing community. You get to talk about your writing with other people, you get to share, connect, and learn, and you become part of the conversation in this class to kind of symbolize how you're part of a broader global conversation of writers. And that's a really cool thing to become part of. As we move through the semester, I hope you feel really open to feedback and change when it comes to your work. I know you know this, but it bears repeating. Everyone has different tastes when it comes to what we like to read, what we like to write, what style, what voice we're drawn to, all of that kind of stuff. So you're going to get a variety of people commenting on your work in addition to me later on in the semester. So you're going to have opportunities to use comments from other people to help you grow. And that feedback's going to be really valuable. Even if you disagree with it, it's going to help you really think about your work. This one's always fun to point out to people. Some people come into creative writing thinking it's creative, so I don't have to worry about grammar and punctuation, right? It's creative, so whatever I want to do goes, right? Not quite. Even with creative writing, I'm going to be expecting you to proofread your work and make your writing readable. And even if you're an experimental writer, you still have to make it clear. You still want to have readers. You still want to connect with people, no matter how experimental you might be. And so it still bears repeating that we do respect conventions, even when we are doing creative writing. So my encouragement for you going into this first week of our study of poetry is don't come into this thinking I'm not a writer. If you're here and you're doing the work, you're writing, and that makes you a writer. Claim that identity going into the semester, and let's get started. We're going to have a good time.